Oh, g'day guys, just giving a quick update as to where I'm at with the pricing that I'll be putting out there. So just a heads up for anybody unfamiliar. So virtually this is a snapshot of what I'll put out there on Sundays. So it's just a brief write-up. I'll never mention more than 4 horses. Always one of the belief, you mention more than 4 horses, you might as well put your hand up and say you got no idea. And also you don't help anybody anyway. If you need ratings, the prices obviously put them in some sort of order anyway. I'll make a general suggested bet for each race. Probably the most important thing though, if you're looking at these, is the actual prices. I'll price it both 100% and 116%. Strange figures, I know. But generally, I use them for a couple of reasons. First of all, just going to clarify that I definitely don't use them as an overlay betting system. From my perspective, I use them just like the 116% market. Most of the corporates finish at about 120%. So I use this as my assessment as to what price they're roughly going to start, at the end of fixed odds. So that allows me to then determine, just for example, say I wanted to back maybe Jack, which I don't, but and I believe he's going to start about $9 fixed. Therefore, if they put up $6.50, $7, I'll wait. So on the belief that he'll drift. If they put up $13, I'll take $13. So just if you're using these figures as a general rule, obviously it's never 100% correct, but it's probably batting above 80% that the prices will be quite accurate. So if you like one and you want to gauge to, because the most common question I always get asked by anybody is it worth taking that price now or should I wait? So this probably gives you some indicator as to when your prices first go up and you like one, or a lot of people I know, I'll put half on now fixed and half on the tote in case it drifts. That's not a bad way if you're not sure, I suppose, but this might give you a bit more confidence. The 100% is very similar in that, but it's just mainly for the Betfair side of things. I just find with the overlay betting, from my own perspective, first of all, you need to have a good system associated with it. And the other thing is too that there's a number of races, generally say there's 10 races, there's probably 2 or 3 as a rule that you've got no real feel for. You've got huge question mark horses such as First Up in the state without a trial, horses resuming for 12 months. And the right price could be anywhere from $2 to $20. And and that sort of throws that out. So maybe for selected races I could do it, but just keep that in mind. Probably the most, with my target audience, the 116% is the one that you'll be most interested in, and to use it as a guide as to, that'll probably start shorter, that'll probably drift. So that's where I'm at. Hope it can be of assistance to a few people. So I've been away this week. I've had a bit of a think about the direction it's going to go. Just going forward, I'll provide these markets just for anybody who wants them. I'll put them up publicly. Find that the major interest of these came from actual participants, trainers and drivers, and to be honest, if I charge them for it, it defeats the purpose of why I started doing this thing in the first place. So not comfortable with that. Might just sort of look at the betting side of things a little bit down the track. If you just because if I think about things, like majority of people reading it are going to be participants anyway. I think as a rule when I share these things, they generally get about 400 to 450 views from about 160 unique visitors. I think that's the average over the last 10 or so. Obviously, when it says unique visitors, it doesn't necessarily mean all different people, because people on mobile devices create a unique IP address each time they log in and out. So probably, you know, gets to 125, 130 different people each time. So it does have a bit of a following there. So anyway, guys, so it'll be sort of business as usual in the short term. And if you've got any other queries with me, one thing I can do, I can send them out in PDF form there for you, which just probably makes it a bit more easy to read if you're on a mobile device. But just sort of email me on the website or inbox me with your email address and we'll add you to the list. But anyway, guys, that's about it in a nutshell. So you can see I've just priced race 1 on Sunday. It's not the hardest race in the world to price. So anyway, we will wrap it up there and we'll be in touch some stage over the weekend. Thanks again.